From live streaming a Marvel movie by accident to ghosting Superman's call, these celebrities have some legendary screw-up stories. Let's start with Jennifer Lawrence. While filming the Hunger Games in Hawaii, she was wearing a wetsuit every single day, and like anyone stuck in a tight wetsuit for hours, she got real itchy, especially her butt. So one day on set, she noticed some large rocks nearby, perfect for a little scratch session. But these stones weren't any random stones. They were Hawaii's religious sacred stones, meant to be respected, not rubbed on.
We were filming in Hawaii, and there were sacred rocks. They were sacred, and you're not supposed to sit on them because you're not supposed to expose your genitalia to them. I, however, was in a wetsuit for this whole shoot,
so it doesn't count, right?
Oh my God, they were so good for butt itching. Just be like, oh!
And then she instantly regretted it. One of the giant boulders she scratched on came loose, rolled down the hill, and nearly crushed the sound guy and his whole setup. The crew freaked out, and locals called it a curse.
It's a giant boulder, and it rolled down this mountain and almost killed our sound guy. And like his whole station got destroyed. It was like it was a huge dramatic deal. And all the Hawaiians were like, oh my God, it's the curse. I'm in the corner like going, I'm your curse.
But this wasn't the end of the story. When the clip aired on Graham Norton's show, Hawaiians weren't laughing. She got dragged online for being disrespectful and later apologized on Facebook, saying it wasn't funny and I'm sorry if I offended anyone. Classic Jennifer. Next on Jimmy Kimmel's show, when Tom Holland shared how he basically saved the Spider-Man. In 2019, Spider-Man was about to disappear from the Marvel universe. Sony was taking back the rights from the Marvel, fans were panicking, and Tom Holland, who is Spider-Man, was honestly heartbroken.
D23, which is the big Disney convention, and the news had come out, and I was obviously devastated. I was really upset, and all my Marvel friends were there, and they were taking like Marvel pictures, and I was like, not allowed to be in them. It was awful.
Then a few days later, Tom was at a pub. He was drunk and emotional, and suddenly his phone rings. And it's Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, the guy who basically runs Marvel. He straight up starts crying, full on. Tells Bob how much Spider-Man means to him and to so many people. Bob gets emotional too.
I think Bob said you cried on the phone. Is that true?
I weeped.
Did you really?
No, I didn't weep. I did, yeah.
You did a little bit?
Yeah. No, I was really emotional. Because I felt like it was all coming to an end.
It was bad news.
After that call, Bob hit up Sony's CEO. They talked, like two divorced parents trying to figure out custody of their superhero kid. And somehow, it worked. They brought Spider-Man back, all because Tom got drunk and cried on the phone. Next, when Kevin Hart shares his Bible lesson from his mom. Back when Kevin Hart was just starting out, life was rough. He didn't have money, he barely had a place to live. He was performing comedy sets in bowling alleys. Eventually, he moved into his first apartment, but couldn't afford rent. His mom said, I got you for 1 year. Follow your dream. But after that, you're going back to school.
And I went and got one on my own. I couldn't afford the rent because I was trying to do comedy. So my mom, she was very religious. She said, look, Kevin, I'm gonna put you on my back. I got you for a year. You can go out, do what you wanna do. I'm gonna support you. After that, if you don't find a way to feed yourself, then you gotta go back to school.
Now Kevin's mom was super religious, like read your Bible before anything kind of religious. So when Kevin asked for the money,
another month go by, I'm getting eviction notices. Mom, stop playing. Like if you don't give me this money, I'm gonna be homeless. Did you read your Bible? Mom, I don't want to read the Bible right now. I'm not gonna have a place to read it in a minute if you don't give me the money. Right. She's like, look, I'm not gonna do this with you, Kevin. Read your Bible, talk to me.
Every time he calls his mom tells him to read the Bible first. 3 months pass by and his mom keeps saying to read the Bible first. So he finally starts reading the Bible.
I finally open up my Bible. When I open it up, my mom put all of the checks for the rest of the year in the Bible. Amazing. So I open it and all of my rent checks fall out and I just sat there with the dumbest look on my face.
Next, when Mark Ruffalo forgot to end the live stream. Mark Ruffalo might play the Hulk, but when it comes to spoilers, he's a walking disaster. At the Thor Ragnarok premiere, Marvel asked him to go live on Facebook from backstage. So he goes live, chats with fans, and thinks he ends the stream. He thought he ended it. He did not. He walks into the theater, puts his phone in his pocket, and sits down, totally unaware that the live stream is still going. Thousands of people are now hearing the entire movie from Mark's pocket.
I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like 5 minutes in, and my phone is blowing up. I'm just like, bzz, bzz, bzz. And everyone and their mother was texting me from all over the world to tell me that my phone was on and I was live broadcasting.
Finally, someone from Marvel rushes in, whisper yelling. He pulls it out and realizes he's just done the dumbest thing in MCU history.
Sent a lady down and she, hey. And I'm like, what? And she's like, your phone. And I pulled it out and I just like, oh shit. I get a call from Kevin Feige.
Oh, the big boss.
The boss. He's like, what are you doing, man?
Next, when Ed Sheeran ended up naked in hotel hallway. Back in 2018, somewhere in Europe, Ed had a night out with his best mate. Fully drunk night. Fast forward to 4 a.m. Ed was asleep, completely naked. He gets up to pee, walks out, and the door shuts behind him.
And I walked out to have a pee, and then I hear a door close, and I open my eyes, and I'm in the corridor, naked, no key. It's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I'm kind of looking around, and as I look around, it's like CCTV, and I'm like, ooh, this is not good.
He spots a napkin from someone's room service tray, grabs it, barely covers himself, walks to the elevator, and rides down to the lobby, holding nothing but regret and a paper towel.
Bear in mind, it's like 4 a.m. There's like people working in the hotel, and I just kind of walk with this thing, and I was like, please, can you let me back in my room? And please, can you not tell anyone about this? And my security guard went to go and wipe all the CCTV. Well, he told me he wiped it. He might have kept it for blackmail later on down the line. But yeah.
Let's just hope that footage isn't sitting on someone's hard drive waiting for the perfect blackmail moment. Next, when the Jack Whitehall got embarrassed in fancy hotel, Jack was in Spain enjoying a nice restaurant meal when nature called. So he goes to the bathroom, does his business, and then tries to flush.
I went to flush. Didn't work. Flushed again 6, 7 times. I tried to get it down, James. Would not go. So I was like, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm not just going to do a hit and run and leave it here. I'll go out and tell someone that there's a problem with their facilities.
So he walks back out into the restaurant and finds a waiter. Problem: the guy doesn't speak English. Jack doesn't speak Spanish. So now he's miming poop in a fancy restaurant.
Follow me. I ushered him into the toilet, right? I pointed at my poo. I went to flush. It went down straight away.
He just stood there, humiliated, while the waiter stared like, you dragged me in here for this? Next, when Daniel Radcliffe mistaken for a homeless guy. So Daniel Radcliffe was out in New York, just minding his business with a dog. It was freezing. He was wearing like 3 layers, proper cold. The dog was shivering too, so Dan kneels down to warm it up, just petting it on the sidewalk.
I was on the street with this dog, and my girlfriend was in the shop, and so and it was very cold. And I got my hoodie and my fleece hoodie, and then a big coat over that. And the dog was really cold, so I was like, oh, I'll just kneel by you and like stroke you and like try and keep you warm.
Then some random guy walks by, looks at Dan and keeps walking. Then literally turns around, walks back, pulls out a $5 bill.
And then I saw this guy like look up at me like 10 yards away and smile. And I was like, yeah, and just carried on. And then he walked past me and he came back. He got about 5 steps past me and then just reappeared with a $5 bill over my shoulder and just went, get yourself a coffee, mate.
Dan's like, bro, I thought I looked all right today. Next, when Henry Cavill missed the Superman call. Imagine getting the biggest call of your life and ignoring it. That's exactly what Henry Cavill did. He was busy playing World of Warcraft, like deep in the game, when his phone started ringing. He looked down, saw an unknown number, and ignored it. Kept playing. Turns out it was Zack Snyder, calling to tell him he got the role of freaking Superman.
I missed the call from Zack Snyder to tell me I got Superman.
But, like, did you hear the phone ringing?
I did.
And you chose to ignore it?
Absolutely.
Did you win the video game?
Sadly, no.
The worst part is he lost that game too. Let that sink in.